was a Dutch painter and etcher. He is considered one of the best and most important painters in European history. He was born in Leiden in the Netherlands and was an artist based in Amsterdam. He painted many masterpieces with a mysterious atmosphere by using the contrast between light and dark. He is also an artist who painted around 100 self-portraits, leaving the most self-portraits in Western art history. This painting from his early 20s was painted to show his confidence both in himself and his skill. The strong contrast shows the effect of Caravaggio, but take a look at the details in his hair. One of Rembrandt's most notable innovations was the use of a sharpened brush handle to scratch through wet paint to indicate bits of hair, a technique seen in many of his portraits which revealed bits of primer or imprimatura. He studied his facial expressions for drawing portraits and poses. He looked at his face in the mirror to create his own expression of light and shadow, leaving numerous drawings and etching. He also painted landscape paintings, genres, fables, historical scenes, biblical, and mythical themes. So, how does this compare to Rubens? Both were influenced by Caravaggio. Rembrandt was less dynamic than Rubens, but more focused on the subject itself. Here he painted Jesus calmer and deeper with stronger highlights to emphasize Jesus coming down the cross like on a theater stage. He married Saskia, an aristocrat, and became a wealthy painter as a young man and lived in luxury. However, after painting the Night Watch, Rembrandt's life began to go downhill. The Night Watch is praised as a masterpiece by us today, but it did not receive such response in his time. It was a very, very large painting measuring over 14 feet wide and nearly 12 feet tall. It pictures Dutch citizens voluntarily organizing a militia to protect their land and property from attack. A typical portrait during this time would have shown the men lined up in a row, each man looking similar in size. However, Rembrandt thought this would be dull and boring. He instead painted each man doing something different in what looks more like a large action scene. In order to maximize the theatrical nature, Rembrandt created depth and contrasting light and dark. The 18 members of the militia commissioned this and probably expected a formal portrait with great details. Instead, he gave focus to the two people in front. The others were placed outside in the dark. Plus, Rembrandt painted additional people into the composition. This made many people disappointed, and his high reputation fell because of it. To make matters worse, his wife passed away, leading to a very difficult and quite different life. His later works started exploring and reflecting on his inner self. If you look at his early paintings, they were lavish, vibrant, and radiating light with darkness. In his old age, the art reflected and revealed his most inner feelings and emotions. See the brighter areas showing this? See the impasto technique? Impasto? Impasto is Italian for kneaded and is technique that paints a thick oily texture for maximum texture and a three-dimensional effect. Can you feel the deep inner side of Rembrandt? The wrinkles, the shabby clothing, feeling of sadness. Stark difference compared to the young, confident Rembrandt. He explores his own life, the choices, the depths, the consequences, the emotions he was able to capture on canvas. Another representative is Frans Hals. He was born in Flanders and moved to Haarlem, the Netherlands, where he settled and spent the rest of his life painting. He was quite popular as a portrait painter. He was skilled at capturing the moment without sketching it first on the canvas, and drew portraits of men and women looking cheerful using alla prima technique. If Velasquez was the alla prima artist of the Counter-Reformation Baroque, Frans Hals was it for the Dutch Baroque. Like Velasquez, Hals had a great influence on Impressionist painters and Manet. By portraying the characters humorously, his portraits are powerful and lively compared to Rembrandt's. Comparing the two gives us a glimpse into their viewpoints of life. Hals' group portraits were also popular, expressing improvised moments perfectly. Wait, oh, I know this painting. Girl with a pearl earring. There's even a movie with this picture, right? This painting is by another famous painter named Vermeer. The girl has no eyebrows like Mona Lisa. The area around the eyes were drawn using sfumato technique, and many consider this Vermeer's Mona Lisa. Vermeer is a representative painter of Baroque using light, but kept his paintings bright and adding many details like a Flemish painter. He lived in the Delft area and left only 30 paintings. Not much was known about him at the time of his life, but in the 19th century, his paintings were rediscovered and made famous by realist impressionist painters. Vermeer painted a variety of paintings, including portraits, landscapes, and genre paintings. Vermeer created objects and spaces with bright colors such as yellow, ultramarine, red, while other artists used more brown, green, gray, and dark colors. He created a calm and stable atmosphere through perfect, balanced composition and light. See this painting? A woman pouring milk wearing a yellow top, blue apron, red skirt, in a warm space filled with soft sunlight. Can you hear the milk being poured? See the nail in the wall, imperfections in the kettle, the broken glass in the window? He painted genre paintings with ordinary people and expressed a static and calm atmosphere with delicate lighting and color harmony. This painting depicts Vermeer's thought influenced by Protestants, that a very simple life is a beautiful life. Another representative genre painter is Jan Steen. He is a gifted storyteller in the tradition of Peter Bruegel, the elder of Northern Renaissance fame. Steen composed and illustrated detailed accounts of human behaviors through proverbs and morals. Jan Steen's favorite theme for his paintings was ordinary daily life. He drew many works involving lessons and proverbs. Among them is this one titled Beware of Luxury. This painting warned the viewer to be alert and respond wisely when things seem to be going great. Woman in the fur on the left is napping, and the house is an absolute mess. The food on the table is a jumble with a dog and a pig wandering around the house. The dog eats from her plate. The children are misbehaving. One is smoking a pipe, another raiding the cupboard, third is playing with his mother's pearls. A pig has the spigot to the wine barrel, a monkey tinkers with the clock, a duck resting on a guest. Quack! and the man of the house succumbs to the guiles of a younger woman. In the bottom right corner, inscribed on the slab, is the Dutch proverb, "In good times, beware." Why? Did you see the basket hanging from the ceiling above their heads? What's in the basket? It is full of items suggesting poverty and disease. Crutches, a leper's rattle, switches used to lash petty criminals. So, genre paintings did not have to only depict ordinary people's daily lives. There could be warnings and stories that encourage hard work, temperance, or a moral life. Also popular were still life and landscape paintings. Still life paintings like portraits were intended to show the abundance of wealth. Artists became fascinated with how the light reflected off surfaces of various objects and drew them very detailed and opulent. Occasionally in still life paintings, objects such as skulls and candles with smoke were depicted as meaningless vanities of life. Landscape paintings were only a background to the theme of pre-Baroque paintings, but Dutch painters in the 17th century began to treat landscape painting as an independent genre. Dutch landscape painters enjoyed drawing the Dutch coastline and the clouds floating in the vast sky, a background of the familiar place, and focusing on realistic depictions of nature. Catholic and Dutch Baroque, while similar on many levels, are also very, very different. Next video, let's learn about the French Baroque and Rococo. What? French Baroque? Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.